All right, so since you did bring up the Chris Rock situation, what's your whole thought on just like outside of the slap? Of course, I mean we'll go to that, but like the whole entanglement situation and stuff. Like, just what's your personal thoughts on it? Because I guess I don't want to call Will Smith a simp, but he don't be painting himself in the best light. You know,
and I don't know how that shit be happening. And let me start by saying this: I don't give a fuck about Will and Jada and Chris and them. But my mere opinion, right? Okay, I wouldn't want my woman and myself to be portrayed how the Smith has more recently been portraying themselves in the media. I do believe in integrity and just the sanctity of what we got going on. However, they're a multi-million-dollar for real public family, and I know they do have their private moments as well, of course, but. Shit, entanglements. I've been entangled on. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like, I don't want to say, of course, they're crossing the line of what should be like a personal relationship, but do you feel like they're too open, and that's why they're open to so many attacks?
I mean,
there's nothing wrong. Like
you could say that. You could say that.
But I feel like there's like knowing about a couple and then knowing every fucking thing about a couple.
Right, absolutely. And again, what they eat do not make me take a number two.
But comparing their situation to like your situation, whoever you may be dating, or if you're currently dating, would you want to be that open?
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So it feels like it's counterintuitive to a healthy relationship.
Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying?
So
no. And my woman, I pray to God, God bless me, and I be into polygamy and shit like that. So God bless me with a woman or women and things like that. I pray we don't have ourselves out there bad like that. Not like that. If we got some things we need to deal with, let's deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
But I just don't get
like that.
Why they would want to have such private conversations publicly.
No, you will never know. I'll never know.
That's like my main problem. And then on top of that, he slapped him.
And if you motherfuckers see this, man, y'all make sure y'all pull up as a sponsor too to this Hill the Hood shit. Will, all you motherfuckers tag them niggas in the comments when you watching this and everything, y'all. We need some sponsorships around this motherfucker for you famous motherfuckers, yes?
Talk your shit, bro.
You dig? But I ain't gonna lie to you, big bro. On some 100%, like I really don't even talk too much. Like I don't have too much opinion about they motherfucking relationships. I be too busy trying to balance my own thing. So I mean, I know it's commentary and everything, but I'm a very focused individual. I don't really have too much opinion on Will and Jada and the latest Cardi B scandals and Migos or Gucci Hoochie Coochie. I don't give a fuck about no shit. I don't care about that shit.
All right, but we still doing it though.
We still on it.
All right, so
But I definitely don't want my woman to have my big day. For the record, don't edit this part. Keep this part in, bae. Future bae, don't do me like that, boo. Let's work our shit out in private, on God.
All right, so not a new thing out here to like the YouTube world and shit is like the red pill content, red pill aware, which is more like I guess like Kevin Samuels. I brought up the Fresh and Fit. You said you wasn't familiar, but like maybe Patrice O'Neal content like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's damaging, like in like a just on a dating sense, society? Like you feel like that kind of talk is bad and bringing people further away, or is it actually humbling people and making them?
It's a double-edged sword. It truly is a double-edged sword. I do believe that controversy is healthy. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that we need to have uncomfortable conversations in order for growth. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's right? For sure.
That's just the honest to God truth, right? Whether you in business, with an individual, relationship, teacher and student, whatever the case may be. Some of the shit they say, I'm like, bro, they just throwing fuel on the fire. Because I don't be hearing solution-based stuff, right? So if I'm going to critique the opposite sex, and again, that don't even be my angle most of the time, talking about what women did do and these women did it. I'll be so focused on my brothers and making sure that us as black men get our shit together, and then opposites gonna attract. When we got our shit together, we gonna attract a different caliber of woman who ain't even the type of woman Kevin Samuels and all them be type of talking about and shit. But do I think it's divisive? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think we in a generation, we got enough bullshit, drama, trauma, love, gossip, you know what I'm saying, backbiting, spewing, so on and so forth. We got more than enough of that shit. But that's what sells, I suppose. And like I said, they do make valid points. Both, like I said, Patrice as well as Kevin. We may not agree with that shit, okay? We definitely may not agree with it, but some of that shit we need to be said. I done heard Kevin read some couple of women's they rights, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even degrading them though. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's really blunt though, but a lot of things.
Oh, he's extremely blunt.
I feel like he's not exactly wrong for saying certain things that'll help a woman get a long-term relationship. And I feel like that's a lot of things they separate from they have a lot of options to hook up with men compared to being in a long-term relationship with men. And I feel like that's what Kevin Samuels be trying to put women on.
I hear you.
You know, and a lot of times that's not going to come with any good advice.
And then, you know, again, he's very blunt with the things that he be saying. But that's how I want people to handle me. Not, you know, don't bust my head open, but I don't want nobody to sugarcoat stuff either. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, my guys, I got one of my sisters, my older sister, she's very direct and blunt. So when she's correcting me, am I wrong? I be like, bro, like, is you trying to fight or something, sis? Like, why you coming at me like that, sis? But at the end of the day, I'll be having to bear witness, like, damn, she keeping that shit all the way real right now. So, you know, controversy sells, though, at the end of the day.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear bad things or even someone that have, like, a negative connotation about themselves. But sometimes, if you're an asshole, somebody got to tell you're an asshole, you know?
My first exposure, I swear to my right-handed guy, my first exposure of Kevin Samuels was a scenario where this chick was just bombarding her way on his show, like, he was trying to cover, like, hey, sis, listen, this is not the relationship show. That's on Tuesdays. Today is Wednesday. It's the financial show, or, you know, whatever the other topic was. Do you have a question on that? She's like, no, I hear you. But, again, he tried to curve it real smooth. He tried to be very smooth. Sis, this ain't the time for that. If you call me or go to my website, we can book a consultation. But right now, we talking about the birds and the bees. You trying to talk about the price of tea in China. So, fuck it. He gave her a platform. He let her say whatever she had to say, man. I was like, bro, who the fuck is Kevin Samuels? Because he was fed up at that point in time, and he was like, listen. Woo. You know how you get to talking and breaking things down. But for that being my first exposure of Kevin Samuels, oh, my mama ain't mad. I ain't mad at him.
See, another problem I have with people who have a problem with him is they feel like he just attacks women. If you go on deeper into his catalog, all his content was men-based. You know, if you like, let's just say he'd go in on me and she'd be like, fam, you got slides on and you're fat. Right. How you gonna get a dime with slides on and you overweight? You know what I'm saying?
I had to think about it for a second. Like, damn, have I ever heard him come at something? But I have.
And he comes with the same exact like energy.
Yep.
So it's just like, that's why I think I appreciate it more, you know, because no matter what, you're gonna get that energy from him.
Balance, that's some real shit. That's some real shit. Shout out to that homie Kevin Samuels.
Facts. All right, and then so we're based out of Milwaukee. How do you feel about the stolen cars? Obviously, it's not a good thing, of course, but like, how do we start curbing that? How do we fix that? Do you have a jack on your car right now? Is your steering wheel secured?
Steering wheel is not secure, but y'all know what type of car I drive, so don't come looking for my shit. All right? Please don't come looking for my shit. We CC dubbed up, but anyhow, I don't really know how to curb that epidemic, man, because it's gotten so out of control. It was a video that circulated probably like 2 years ago or so. Matter of fact, no, I was in Panama, so this was last year. I was watching that shit down in Panama, like, dog, Milwaukee crazy as hell. But this young dog was like 12 years old. He had got caught stealing this nigga car, right? And it was like him and maybe two others, but the two other dudes, they ended up getting away. They caught the young nigga. So the OG pulled out his phone, started recording. He had two of his young guys slap this little boy up, bust him all in this shit.
It was wintertime, right?
No, it wasn't the wintertime. Nope, it was not the wintertime, because I
think I know what you're talking. I remember that.
Okay.
They posted the video of it.
It's a couple of scenarios though. You know what I'm saying? But so when I see those situations, it's trauma from so many fucking angles and direction. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to solve that problem. You want to say, let's get these young brothers and sisters into more, positive programming. Okay, y'all like music? Here's this music program. Okay, you like film and photography? Okay, come fuck with famous them. They got the youth mentor program or the Running Rebels and so on and so forth. But it is a ton of that shit out here. It's a lot of resources for youth to get activated and involved. I've seen you squander opportunities, man. I mean, you bless them with the best opportunity for money, engagement, to, kind of crawl up out of these situations and things and nature like that, and they throw it away. Whatever makes them throw it away, whatever them factors is, I don't know, my brother. So the stolen car thing, I wouldn't mind seeing harsher punishments. However, I don't believe that jail is the answer to this shit. Again, I think that trauma, I'm going to always go back to, that's where my background is understanding trauma of people of color, and especially people of color born into hyper poverty like Milwaukee. So with so many different factors that go into a young boy saying, I'm finna put my gun to this old lady head, slap her with it damn near, take her keys, and then go joyriding and then smack the car and then go do it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's heaviness behind that, and that's such a multi-dimensional answer. I don't fucking know. All right, since we're just doing tough ass questions,
How does the black community and the police have a good relationship? Where does that start? I see the face. I know it's a heavy one, but it's like.
Because I ain't going to sit here and say that police are not necessary in society to maintain law and order. You know what I'm saying? Now,
you see what I'm saying? They're useful for some shit.
They're useful for shit. Have I ever called the police? I've not been in a situation. And I'd have been in the trenches in these streets, right? I'd have been jumped and this, then the third. And pistol, all type of shit. I've been arrested, blah, blah, blah. But I've never really had too many positive interactions with police outside of being in the community, right? And then they pull up and they, giving things away, trying to, clean up their image and giving away ice cream. We had a few years ago, the police force had asked us, like, why don't y'all invite us to Heal the Hood? Because we don't need y'all. Like, y'all presence alone is problematic amongst my people, right? So even if y'all was to come and walk through, we don't need that, right? We don't need y'all standing on the corner, several squad cars deep. We got our own security force. We got men and women in the community who are going to protect what is ours type shit, and we ain't got to deal with that shit. So what it'll take to foster a better relationship between the blue and the black? Shit. I don't know, P. It's because the shit has gotten out of control, P. I mean, they killing us for holding my glasses, and they're like, oh, we thought he had a pistol. You know what I'm saying? They killing us for less than. And what also makes me say, okay, this thing is gonna be real difficult to navigate. It's not just the police, right? It's a political stance. It's a problematic thing in the court system and in the justice system, because anytime you can get, we can go all the way back from Rodney King. We can talk about Abdul Lawima, brother shot 50 times. You know what I'm saying? These motherfucking police jumped on the hood of his car, dumping into the car. He shot 50 times the day before his wedding and shit like this. Everybody acquitted and got off. In a space where we justify that type of modern day lynching or killing, what really can be done to broker a peaceful, productive relationship? You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see more police of color, but not just police of color. Those of us who come from our community and who come to serve our community. I would love to see a heavier focus. And again, my background is in the mental health piece and the trauma piece. So when police arrive on the scene, maybe this person's having a fucking mental health breakdown, right? And they're not hyped up on drugs as the police may think, and so we don't need to tase or shoot them. Maybe we need a mental health crisis worker to come on the scene, strategically talk this person down, and then figure out whatever the next step may be.
See, I feel that goes back to policing your own communities. If you have police officers that grew up in the community their whole life and they go back to work in that community, they'll know who have a mental health problem. That's why when you see videos of white motherfuckers in country towns and shit, and you got Frank going fucking crazy, and fucking Tom ain't shooting him. Tom knew Frank his entire life.
Tom knows what's going on. Yeah.
And when you don't have you gotta have, and especially when you're not from your own community. Yeah. Let's just say they come from Franklin or Oak Creek. You think they're really gonna care? But especially, not saying they don't care, but at least care do you think they're gonna protect it like it's their own?
Absolutely. But we also in war. I mean, we gotta look at, we see all of these videos, search our mirror video, and I mean, let's be clear. It's a million videos in the last couple of years of police misconduct, illegal searching, beating on old motherfuckers and little kids, unjust killings. The list goes on and on. There's a million of these videos. But it was like a pool party going on somewhere, and police come on the scene. He roughing this little girl up. She was like 15 or something. She in her bathing suit. You know what I'm saying? He roughing her up, hands all on her, knee on the neck. In a world where a grown-ass white man cannot better handle the engagement of a upset 15, 16-year-old. Now, I ain't saying the situation didn't cause for, a little bit more authority to be invoked, because again, now I'm looking at it from an officer perspective, right? I'm an officer. I come on scene trying to figure some shit out. It's 15, 20 kids out here. This group is yelling at me. This group is throwing their cell phones in my face trying to record. There's a little girl yelling at me doing all of this. Okay, it get hectic. Bitch, call for backup then. Go sit in your squad car, call for backup, and then figure that thing out from there. But I don't know, bro. It's a war.
I feel like that just happened too, just in Kenosha or Racine.
They did Racine.
Yeah,
Racine, exactly.
They tackled the shit out of
12.
Girl.
She was 12.
Yeah.
She was 12. She was fucking 12. Again, so it's like us as grown men, we don't know how to engage, or okay, let's say that the little kid is doing too much of this and you can't restrain a 12-year-old. You understand me what I'm saying? You got a whole badge and a gun, and you can't. And again, in martial arts, so again, I'm now coming from a martial artist perspective. I can restrain a man down there, 2 times my size. I know I can do it to a kid. I know the fuck I can. You see what I'm saying?
Especially a female kid.
Come on, big bro. Come on, big bro. Talk to me. So I don't know what it is that tells police officer it's okay. You can treat that person of color however you want to. You can shoot them because her tail light was out, so she ends up dead or something in the jail cell. Sandra Bland, so on and so forth. So I don't know, man. That conversation's so heavy, bro. That shit's so heavy, man. It's tragic.
Well, that's why I always bring it up though, because sometimes that shit needs to be out there.
It do, absolutely. It need to stay as a conversation, you know. And we need to keep fighting back. We need to keep fighting for political and social reform. We need to keep fighting for better training of police officers, more extensive training with dealing with people of color, dealing with people born into poverty, dealing with people with mental health trauma, how to de-escalate, so on and so forth. That need to be way more intense. Because for officers' initial response to be grab my gun and blow something down, like damn, bro, like get your paranoid, get your anxious ass, you ready to shoot something down.
See,
you know
I feel like that's like motherfuckers watching too much Law and Order, NYPD Blue, all this CSI shit.
Straight up.
You know, I really feel like I don't feel like that. I'm sure it was happening in the '60s, but I feel like they weren't just shooting first in any situation.
I'm shooting first too. If I'm a white police officer, I know if I shoot this brown brother behind the camera, or this black brother in front of the camera, and I'm gonna get paid leave and shit like that. Some police support organization will start a GoFundMe and give me 150, 200,000 while I'm off work and shit. I'm down there shooting some shit up too to test it out the theory. I'm just gonna test out the theory. I know I ain't gonna go to jail. I've seen it happen a million times before. So again, I can't say what goes through the psychology, you know, of an officer when they put. And then I ain't been in a high stress situation, especially as an adult, where I felt the need to draw my arm. Right? If I felt that my life was. But again, we talking about shit where they be like, again, like I said, my glasses was a gun, or they moved too fast. So you know, all of this other ass shit, man. They shot down a deaf young man who couldn't hear. They giving him commands he couldn't hear.
Yeah,
so they shot him down.
That's
this
fine.
Young brother. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. What type of shit is?
So, is that like the mindset of all police officers you feel, or is it more like a training issue?
I definitely ain't gonna say it's all.
No, of course, but
them good ones,
but even a majority is a lot of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Vast majority. And we're gonna say the bulk majority.
So where does that get curbed at?
I think it goes back to the training and being able to really sift through one's intentions on becoming a police officer, because it's like, okay, you want to become a police officer, let's say your reason is to clean up crime. Well, what do you view as crime? What is your idea of crime? Is crime the young brother who stole from the gas station and shit like this? Or is it because he didn't steal blunts, he stole bread and a couple things to drink on and shit to take home because his mama and them ain't got no food at home and he's just trying to do what the fuck he can? You know, what are we viewing as crime? Is it a crime that the homeless people is on the corner begging for change? Or is it a crime that in the city we can't figure out why we have so many abandoned properties and we can't figure out the funding to turn those into housing for our homeless? What's the real crime? So I think, you know, the better we can disseminate between somebody's real ideology and look into how motherfuckers was raised. Some people come from communities, bro, where they never dealt with people of color. They joined the police
even in
force.
Wisconsin too, though. Like
even the that's the only place I can speak on is the relevance of Wisconsin. I've been living here my whole life. That's all I know. So you get these people who never dealt with black people, like I said. Same with in the educational field. You get people who graduated from these hick ass towns, never dealt with black kids and the trauma and the drama of a black boy or a girl, and you put them in front of them and say, "Hey, you run this child's life." As an authoritarian, as a police, or as a teacher, or whatever the case may be, and they have no understanding of the cultural, you know, relationship or just the history thereof. So now I couldn't tell you where to begin at. I ain't sitting here advocating for black on blue violence, but the Bible even say an eye for an eye or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So but I'm not advocating for it, but I'm saying to what means will be our end as a community. How much longer can we take these type of things? But then again, we can't talk about blue and black without talking black and black. You see what I'm saying? I'm one of the ones to bring up that conversation because we got to balance both sides of the spectrum. I don't want to see black people senselessly dying, period. I don't give a fuck what color you is. You know what I'm saying? Whether you cuz them off the block or whether you share Mikowski. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on black life at the end of the fucking day, I feel. You know.
Yeah, I guess like all black lives have to matter in every sense of every killing, but I feel just the term black on black crime. It's definitely a scam. It's not even a question about that, because you'll never hear white on white crime being perpetuated. And we see these mass terrorist shooting, school shootings, shoot your mama, shoot the dog, shoot the goldfish and things. But you don't hear that being perpetuated. But the stereotype of black on black is ridiculous. And then when we're talking about the data and the statistics, now we're talking about numbers. When you look at the per capita ratio of people, you know what I'm saying, here in Milwaukee, the people of color, it'll look like black on black because we all lumped on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna be a black on white or a white on black thing when you got nothing but niggas and you give us these shitty social conditions. But it's definitely a scam, that whole term black on black. But again, I also don't ignore
the fact of a black man killing and gunning down another black man or black woman or black child and so on and so forth. Whatever the fuck the terminology is. I'm such a non-technical person. And I think that's what's allowed me to exist in the game so long. We find so much division in the technicalities, right? Motherfuckers might say on one side of the spectrum, well, yes, black on black crime is a thing. It is, you know, on the other side of the spectrum, they say it's a scam. I don't give a fuck, black body still dropping. So you call it what you want to call it. That's a bet. You call it what you want to call it. What's the solutions to end it? Whatever the fuck we call it. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be my angle. Like, let's get to the meat of the solution, if you will.
No, I feel you. That's too much for us to deal with right now in this conversation. I feel. But so what's next after the Heal the Hood festival? What do you got going on after that? So
we usually do multiple ones throughout the year. We usually do, on average, 2 of them. So we got the one coming up in May. Again, that's May 28th, right on the corner of 1st and Right from 12 to 5 p.m. But we're going to do our back to school giveaway. We ain't solidified a date in August just yet. But we always do our back to school event. You know, last year I think our goal was, well, last year we had to cancel it actually because the COVID numbers had spiked back up. But our goal is always to give away between 300 and 500 backpacks full of supplies and shit like that. You know, bless the community with that. For myself, right, I'm handing Heal the Hood off to my team, right? We have our planning committee who governs our nonprofit and, you know, kind of helps to keep things balanced. I want to hand that thing off to them. I got international goals. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to travel overseas. So this year for myself, I plan on going over to South Africa. Inshallah, God willing, I'll go down to Jamaica again for a couple weeks. And I want to, you know, I'm scouting out to see where I want to go live at. In a couple of years, I do want to live and move overseas. And expand the movement, right? So Heal the Hood for me may not be continuing the block parties, staying in the high schools, teaching and preaching. Maybe I'm doing more so community work over in impoverished communities overseas, right? I'm gonna travel for a couple of years, and you know, maybe I'm gonna help establish some community development things or some clean water systems or some electrical systems here. And those have been my goals for some years. And I think now, especially with that 10-year mark, it's like, okay, Ajamou, revolutionize your shit, bro. Step your game up. Hand that other thing off to the team. The team they gonna be able to take Heal the Hood 30 years out. So I played my role for 10 years. I ain't here to take Heal the Hood 100 years. I'm here to help birth it and let the team carry on the legacy. Let my son carry on the legacy. You know, my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, shout out to Rob and Jolie Brox, they got 4 kids, right? Heal the Hood gonna go in their name when the time comes, you know. Shout out to Jamila Carney. She got 3 sons. And about 3-4 nephews that fuck with this Heal the Hood movement hard. The movement gonna go to them when they come of age. And it may not look the same. They might not want to continue with the Block Party campaign, right? Maybe we talking about getting a center, right? We need a youth center, a community, a staple, a spot where we can call our own to run our mentorship classes, to really do the bulk of the Heal the Hood thing that we do, have it in a centralized location. So that's on the horizon. But you know, God willing, we just gonna go ahead and knock out this May. I'm gonna take my ass overseas and do some soul searching on the beach somewhere. You understand? I'm gonna pick fresh fruit from the tree. I'm gonna de-stress. You understand? Drink a mimosa, and I'm gonna figure out the rest of that shit when I get back. I done dedicated a lot of time to this Heal the Hood thing, and so I think I'm at a stage now where it's like, again, I gotta level up and figure out what my next stage of life looks like. I ain't worried about Heal the Hood. Heal the Hood will be successful. It is successful. It's a proven theory and model that has stand the test of time. I've seen so many community revolutionary motherfuckers come and go and start out talking all the rah-rah shit, and now they taking money from the non-profit and they abusing women and they ain't taking care of their kids. I've seen so many of these motherfuckers come and go, but Heal the Hood has been able to stand as an entity on its own. I'm thankful to God for that. So I don't need to let that thing run no more. Let me say this though. What makes McDonald's so successful is the fucking system, the blueprint. What makes all of these fast food places successful is the model. So you can have a McDonald's on Capitol. You can have one over here on the South Side. You got one in Chicago. You got one the fucking McDonald's in Panama. Bro, in Panama, when I was down there, ran the same way. You put your fries in the oil for a certain amount of time. You oversaturate it with salt. Put the nasty ass burger in the thing like this, so on and so forth. Dump the whatever sauce on it and shit like this. Wrap that motherfucker up and send it to go. Right? And so I pray that the system, right, that we have developed with Heal the Hood will be
duplicating.
Thank you. Duplicated, if you will. And I pray that it can run without me having to touch it. That's going to be real success right there. That's going to be a whole nother level of shit right there. Yeah.
Nah, I feel you. This coming way sooner than you can believe it, fam.
I'm ready.
But last but not least, where can we find your booking info if we want you to teaching or mentor? How do we get part of the Heal the Hood?
Yes.
If you want to sponsor. And then where do we just find your social media so we can keep up with you?
Judge. My website is also my social media, and that's AjamouButler.com. And do some fancy shit when you edit this. And keep this in here too. Do some fancy shit. So right about now, y'all should be seeing my name pop across the screen. So I'm going to do it letter by letter. It's going to pop up or something like that, right? AJAMOUBUTLER.com. And there you can find all of my info about booking us. You can find our link to the Heal the Hood website. And again, just put your ears to the street. We out here. Put your ears to the street. We out here. 10 years, 10 toes is what we telling them. 10 years, 10 toes. Straight up.
Shit, I appreciate you for stopping by, man.
You famous motherfucker, you.